Okay. So the last 10 hits that they haven't done yet are the ones that are not food for the typical Leo Fenyang Alaya thing with a Seimei. If you ask for replacements on this, just go for Tetra or Varamos. Mostly it does the same thing. Because there's a lot of like these kind of fast teams. So I'm going to be making something that can actually clear this. I think I will have to do a decent amount of reruning for some of those though. So we have this team, we're gonna run it like this, but instead of this, we're gonna do this with the triple fighter. Operation kill this thing without attack buff. This thing doesn't have the most amount of HP nor defense, so I do expect Grogan to just one-tap it. If he one-taps it, the other units should follow and die. That's the main idea. Well, we're gonna need a good old triple fighter for you on that. Oh wait, I got this new one. This one is actually really insane. Damn. That's low-key not a bad triple fight set altogether. Okay, so for the first one, the idea is Grogan double taps that and then we win from there. Other option, you could actually do the same thing with the Zyros and hope you reset them up. You would win from that point on as well. It's the safest way with the Zyros, wouldn't say so. With the Grogan, it's probably a bit more safe. So we don't have any attack buff, but this should be enough if we do this. That's not enough. Fuck. Issues. Lots of issues. Okay, we have this S2 still going on. Okay. This is getting scuffed. Good thing that I added at least some damage on these units. Okay, that did do a lot less damage than I was expecting it to do. Or that thing was a lot more tanky than I expected. Note to self, no armor break things with Krogan anymore. Close call. Yeah, good thing I at least had the good Samath runed up. Very important that you have like the thing. It is a triple fight Samath, but good thing that you still have it runed up properly. This thing we're going to be doing with an Adriana. Let's see over here. This is going to be a pushback thing. Let's see if we have something that I want to do with the Neftis, because that is runed up right now. Thing is that I do expect this whole team to be somewhat tanky, and therefore the Grogan to probably not kill anything. But I think we can still get away with it. Once again, the Zyros probably does perform better over here. Yeah, it is pretty tanky. Maybe we can kill the Triton. We can kill the Triton, so we're good to go. Otherwise, it could have went bad if they started proccing. But the Sienna defense, the one you see over here, this is really food to just Tiana plus pushbacks. Like, this is pretty food in the first place. You can actually go for that right away, why not? Would this be super fast on anything? No, I don't really expect that. Is my Sienna currently ruined? That is very much ruined. Is the Chunk Punk currently ruined? Chunk Punk is currently ruined. Okay. Oh, wait. You have to make the turn order correct. That is important. Don't be like me. We still go for this. And we go for this. Turn order being correct, pretty important. But then again, it works. It does work. Okay, that was the only one that looked like that. I could low-key even Adriana it with a Kiara and then a Siri and then a Sonya. Siri this one first, yeah, and then afterwards, yeah, that's actually sounds magnificent. Look at this rune. It's a little bit scuffed, but I think it's fine. Yeah, that's more than fast enough. You are like that. You are still kind of fine like that if I give you the speedy one here too. And then you are looking absolute trash. If I give you shield runes, you would have the most damage output actually. That's low-key a good rune. Okay, operation you kill you, then you kill you, and you kill you. Sounds good, sounds good. So you kill this, you kill this, and you kill that. That thing was actually tankier than expected. But that did work out very well. Must be nice having good LDs. Yeah. All of the LDs died. Well, to be honest, without the Kiara, you could have still done the same. If you just went Jemire, in the end, it was more or less still the same. Well, did you really need to kill 3? I think that the Tian Lang would have had too little chance to properly strip anything anyways. Oh, how do I want to do this? This one is nasty as fuck, though. I definitely have to go for full nasty level Bruiser against this, because in the end, the only thing that it's lacking is a lot of damage. And then final unit, do I go Tetra? Or... No. I got something more annoying than Tetra. Because you can remove the passive, but as long as it's not stunned, I can still revenge. So we're gonna go for this one. And then just to be simple and lazy and efficient, RTA build on everything. Okay, I think that this should work. Okay, it's not really someone too useful to silence already. Wait, why do I outspeed his units? I guess that these two are slow. Oh, I actually should have put Seimei in the bottom spot. That's dumb. Because now things are 2 turns of Oblivion. That is hella dumb. Oh, Gojo's fake as fuck because he can't land proper. But yeah, as long as you're not stunned, you can still counter, which is something that people tend to forget. Buff Gojo. To a certain extent, I'm like, yeah, but if he does land, then he's still pretty darn insane. I guess it's still best defense unit out there. By a relative long shot, even. So yeah, if you don't have these units like Seimei and stuff, I think you can still kind of replicate a similar thing with like a Pheromos and a Tetra. And sure, you're gonna get 2 turns of Oblivion. But in the end, this kind of team mostly doesn't have that much damage that you just survive. Maybe go on multiple Nemesis sets. And that is definitely a way that you can still clear it. Because in the end, the way that I placed the Seimei passives didn't work on the other two. So Seimei was actually bad in here. Because if you use Seimei, you have to put Seimei all the way on the left until because the debuffs are applied from left to right. And because things are applied from left to right, you can first have like the Seimei passive interact with it, but not if you put the Seimei too far to the left. So the Seimei wasn't working in here. Akroma was, of course. But yeah, as I mentioned, this team doesn't really have that much damage, so you can kind of win on that way. Itchy nose. Okay, 6 more. Do we have more of those kind of hits where I think they don't have enough damage? Damn, there's a thing and a half as well. You make that Laura fast? Jesus. This one I feel like has too little damage as well. Yeah, this one has too little damage, no sustain. So this one is very doable for a similar team. And I should have put Seimei in the right position, because now, as mentioned, 2 turn Oblivion. You don't like that. But also, as mentioned, like, they 2 turned Oblivion and then did what? Nothing. They did nothing. That's what they did. Like, that's the big issue with those kind of teams. Like, cool that you have something that is very hard to cleave. But if you take your time, it's actually super easy as well. It just takes a little bit of time of reruning stuff. This art actually fits the Gojo pretty well. Not sure if he has S3 up again. Probably has. Not as of yet. How long is the cold time on that Gojo? Like 5 turns or so? But yeah, same for Isis and Gojo as well. They should have something that maybe for every resistance on Oblivion they have, they lower the cooldown. Would that be fair? I think that's fair. I kind of give some segment 5 to it. That would actually be pretty nasty, because that thing also does stun. Yeah, that's actually kind of cool. For every Oblivion you miss, you lower the cooldown. Yeah. Just make the skill 3 a passive on every unit. Yeah, that is too much. Like, every hit you do your Oblivion. Well, that would be cool, though. Nah, then again, like, I was thinking, like, no one has that. And I was like, wait, I know a unit that does Oblivion on the passive. And it fucking sucks. It's called a Thessarion. No one likes that thing. You kind of, like, the AoE of Oblivion is the part what makes it strong. But Gojo in RT actually doesn't have a crazy win rate. It's just a really good defense unit. Or I wouldn't even say a really good unit. It's more a really scary unit. I mean the passive. Wait, what do you mean? The passive is AoE of Oblivion. But how can you apply AoE something if you only have single target skills itself? Or you want to AoE of Oblivion every start of the turn? You, sir, are cooking too much. Okay, this team, Lamilla is a little bit dangerous. But do I care enough about it? See, it is kind of dangerous. I would like to use a Varamos in here. And then I think we're good to go. He wants to make it a Tesha passive. Sir, I'm very happy you don't work at Countess. Yeah, the only bad thing about Lamilla on defense, I also tried Lamilla on defense, she starts spamming her S2 when it's not needed. If her AI was better, to only use the S2 when she's on max stack, she would be like so much better. Then she would actually be really good. Also for this team, if you don't have the Akroma and the Seimei, I would probably just go for... I would actually, in this scenario, say that a Windy is still pretty good. So Windy on this spot to give like permanent shields every time, because so that this hit doesn't do as much damage. And then in this slot, the right slot, just a Tetra. I think then you're kind of same style, same way. And from here, it's good to go. I'll try to mention the free-to-play options every time that there is some. There's a Despair Triton. There's actually a decent amount of Despair Tritons, but if you have a server that actually tells one another, like, yo, this one was Despair, this one was not, then it's kind of easy. Windy instead of the Akroma. Because the Windy shield is actually pretty good against this, because they all start spamming like random AoEs and shit. And then Windy shield might actually be pretty legit. Or you could still go for the, what's it called? The thing that I used last time, the Pure Vanilla Cookie Fire, Lucia. She's also pretty good in this because you can still keep her like the triple revenge. Heal a bit, and then the pushbacks aren't as oppressive as well. Let's see if there's one more that I want to hit like that. This one is, yeah, also same thing. It doesn't have any damage output. In this case, I would recommend to go Destroy normally. But since I don't have any Destroy runes, do I have something on Destroy? I have a Panda on Destroy. Not that Panda. This Panda. Yep, we just go for the Panda on Destroy. Does Jessica work instead? I'm not sure if you can Oblivion the Jessica. I do think so. And that's the part you don't want to be having. You don't want to be Oblivion. And this team, same thing for counters. I would say Windy would definitely be good here. Absolutely. And also Varamos. Varamos would be very good here because of you. That's easy replacement for the LNDs over here. Most of the time you just want to be using passive units. Like, sure, it gets the Oblivion off, but then what? Like, no damage. Like pushbacks, no damage, no one cares. Sure, I could hit because of the Akroma, but otherwise would have waited one turn and then killed it. Same shit. 2-turn Oblivion would be a little bit more annoying with the pushback, so I definitely do think that if the moment that there's pushback units, you should be looking at, well, also the, wait, the Pure Vanilla Cookie passive doesn't work if you are Oblivion. Yeah, I guess then you just have to work with a lot of Nemesis. What could he sub for the Elanoa? I think in the Elanoa, he should go for some kind of unit with pushbacks and damage. I think that is something that you would have to look at. And then you could be thinking about maybe a Lamilla. It's maybe an option. Could be annoying for a bit of damage. Maybe even just a Ren. Ren does a good amount of damage. Yeah, I think a Ren would actually do good. Because if your whole team is Oblivion, then Ren starts smacking hard with absorbs. Yeah, I like a Ren in that position. Way more than a light pony. Okay, we are on a 3 left. Yeah, something like this. This makes it really nasty because the moment I'm Oblivion by this and this thing starts pushing back, I'm fucked. I'm royally fucked. So for that reason, I actually don't really want to do this with the same style that I'm currently doing, or do I? I feel like that this one is a little bit more tricky. It doesn't have as many wins, so maybe I'm overvaluing it. I am going to try it with this, but I feel like that from all of the things that I hit so far, that this one is by far the trickiest. Okay, apparently he has no speed. Maybe I should have saved that skill, actually. I don't like it where that thing is instantly armor broken already. Wait, oh, you were not Oblivion. I was hella lucky on this one. I was like, wait, why am I healing myself? But the Oblivion didn't connect. I was super lucky on this one. Yeah, I think for this one you should have been using something else, because the Siana in here is really strong. If I had a Gojo, I would maybe rune up the same thing. Or put a Nephthys in here. Yeah, I would probably... Well, the thing is, if you put a Nephthys in here, you're outspeedable by 33 Adriana, which you aren't really with a style like this. So that's kind of the back and forth that you also have to think of. Because a Nephthys is a lot stronger than a... what's it called? A Vanessa by a really long shot, without a doubt, but the 24 lead makes it where you could get outsped and then suddenly it's not as strong anymore. Okay, I guess it's 100 res. I think that this team would also be stronger if you go for a damage kind of style on the Vanessa. There's no point to go for a tanky Vanessa in here. Like, I don't think there's too many people. Sure, there's gonna be some people trying to outspeed and cleave you and shit, but it's not as much. Silver would also be really nasty. Like, yeah, if you combine the two that we just saw, the Silver with the Siana and shit, would be really nasty. Nephthys Woundsa is better than Vanessa Triton. I disagree, because you can just go in 0 will and Woundsa doesn't do anything. Woundsa on defense is really bad. Because you know what you're hitting. It's the same thing if you're placing a draft in RTA and you have 0 will units, would you ever ban the Woundsa? Of course not. But yeah, this one, I'm not too sure what I would use for replacements on most left, most right unit, because this one was actually... Without the LDs, it would have been straight up just too dangerous. Nephthys Triton TLang looks insane. It does, but then again, it's still 33 outspeedable. Like 33 Adriana outspeeds that. That's when you stick to a Trap Despair. That could be a thing, Like this, for example, I'm just simply going to be outspeeding with the Adriana comp. Because I'm pretty sure, would I... by lead, it's actually kind of close. So, if I was Will, it would be super safe. I'm not Will on any of them, and I'm kind of gonna YOLO it, I guess. Yeah, this one is legit the strongest one out there so far. But yeah, issue is, this is 9 faster than I am, but I am 9 higher on lead than he is. So it's a bit of a gamble. If I was full willed, I would have said I was totally fine in the first place. And that is mainly because it's very unlikely for any of these 3 units to be fully on tune on this Laura. You need a lot of speed on the Nephthys to make that work. But if you take out both strippers, you can use domain expansion all you want. But it doesn't do anything. So that's kind of the way that you could be clearing something like this. And that is, like I mentioned, that is the big issue for Nefty's Elite. Nefty's Elite is open to the combination of these two plus whatever. Even on Seal. Interesting. But then again, it is the highest win rate in this right now with 22 wins, which is insanely high. Jinya also has a pretty high win rate, but I think he dies to the same issue. Yeah, he does. Thing is that we can go back to the Kiara over here, and I think we will. None of these are going to be Swift. Wait, why would you use this bad to this, actually? Because this one doesn't feel that strong. If you put a Jemire in here, Jemire would also easily clear this. Well, Giselle in general is kind of dangerous. I think Tian Lang is Swift from the looks of it. So I think I'm gonna be sending this over there, and this over there, and this over there. Oh, and it's tanky as fuck. That, I guess, helps as well. But Jesus fuck, that thing survived the 50k? That was a good old 50. But not enough. Jesus. Okay, and that maybe explains rune quality. But then again, if you go the whole rotation afterwards, I think you're fine regardless. Because if you go Jemire, you have another set of this S3. And there's no way that a Kumar is gonna start stripping that. So yeah, those were the most insane hits for Asia server. And they really had some insane hits. And might you ask, am I at 100 this week or this season? No, I'm not, because I messed up autoing something that a Manon and a Burr killed at some point, killed my Leo, and I killed my whole team. And I didn't look at my screen. That's where my lose went. An auto one. Very late. But yeah, besides that, so far, not bad.
Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more guides, join the Discord and check out the content tab for the guide video archive, which contains all of the guides that you might need. Hope to see you there.